What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, October 3rd, first Thursday in October. Anytime you get to the month of October, you're talking about MLB baseball playoffs, football, college football. This is the best time of the year for sports. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here. I'm also in sales and also a proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and who they are outside of their occupation. I got a special guest coming on with me today. Her name is Kristen Simoes. She's been a voiceover and broadcast professional for the past 2 decades. She's been in television as far as news anchoring, reporting, been a morning show, I should say, co-host, and she's Emmy award winning voiceover talent. So we're going to talk to her about her why, talk to her about some of her favorite things, some of her favorite projects, and what she has going on. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the lovely, talented, and the beautiful Kristen.
Hey,
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure to finally see you. You look absolutely lovely today. I want to start off by saying that.
Thank you. The lighting in here is so funky. I'm always like I have Christmas lights and like
Mhm.
this interior light and then my studio lights. It's just funky. So
No,
thank you.
totally no. Oh, you look awesome. No question about that. And I want to say thank you first off for coming on to my podcast. Work hard, play harder. We've been trying to do this for a while for sure, but we finally locked it down, which is great. I'm so happy about that.
We're
How's your
busy
day
working
going so
hard,
far?
right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. How's your day going so far?
Good. It's been busy. I had a video shoot this morning and a political project I just knocked out. It's just been one of those days where it's like one thing after another, but no complaints. It's
I
good
feel
working.
you on that. I feel you on that. I want to reiterate to you, and before I start like peppering you with all these questions of why I
Okay.
wanted to have you on here, I know you're a voiceover talent and you've been in the broadcast journalism field for the past 2 decades, right? As a morning show host, as a reporter, as an anchor at various different places as well. And I'm a reporter myself. I worked in a publication. Now I work freelance where I'm able to do all kinds of stories, and I want to be able to hear your journey. Obviously, I've never talked to a voiceover person before, so that should be quite fun when you get to do some of those projects. So I would love to hear about some of your favorite projects and just your journey in all of what you went through in this industry and what you're still going through. Because it seems like you're having the time of your life doing what you do.
Oh man, that's a broad question. I don't even know where to start with that. But yeah, I am having a good time. I do love what I do. I feel really lucky. I mean, this isn't a career I could have jumped into right out of college because I think I'm just here because I've had different jobs and made connections and learned from other people who are amazing. And
Sure.
that's kind of led me to where I am now, which is also a freelancer, which I love. I'm sure you can relate. It's so great being a freelancer and working for yourself. And I just feel like I have a better relationship with my clients because of that. And I do projects that I love to do. I
Hmm.
spent a couple decades working in news, and that was fun and great and interesting. But you're
Hmm.
kind of at the mercy of what your news director and assignment editors and producers are telling you to do.
Sure.
And if you watch the news very often, it's not all that uplifting. So it can be kind of a downer. So now I'm working on projects mostly that I really truly enjoy. And it's
Hmm.
such a huge variety from like medical stuff. I do work for PBS. I do fun. Today I was on a shoot for the city of West Sacramento doing a cool project on something innovative they're doing. And then on my voiceover stuff. So huge range of work. And I have to
Okay.
preface it because people a lot of times when they hear that I'm a voiceover are like, oh, awesome. What characters are you?
Right.
And I always have to preface it by saying I don't do all the exciting, fun character stuff. There's so many different genres of voiceover. There are people who do video game voiceover and people who do animation. That's the fun characters and stuff. I do a lot of corporate voiceover. I do e-learning. I do political, which I think is really fun. Political, you kind of get to be an actor because, like, one day he's the devil and you don't vote for that guy. And then you're talking about, like, the greatest person who ever graced our planet that you want to vote for. And so it's
Sure.
just a lot of fun. doing that kind of work. But it's not a lot of people when they think of voiceover think of like the fun cartoon characters, and I'm kind of
Absolutely.
in a different field of voiceover. So,
Okay, I love that. I do. Now, I start off with my first question always, Kristen, is what is your why? Right? What is your why of doing what you do? What were some role models of yours growing up, or maybe some people you wanted to emulate growing up? Like, what is your why of choosing this industry of broadcast journalism?
man, that's a good question too. I think from the beginning I loved telling stories and I just didn't know. I mean, I did that. My first job in television was in Chico, which is a small market. So you are the assignment editor, you're the reporter, you're the photographer, you're the editor, you do all of it, which really gave me, I think, a good respect for everybody's job in a newsroom because,
Right.
they're all important. It's not just the person that you see on camera. Um, so I really just I love telling stories, and I think working in news a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times those stories were more difficult to tell just from the standpoint of they were like more negative and harder things to share. And now I'm telling really cool stories of like innovation that's happening and neat things that are happening in communities and people doing amazing things. And I just love to share that when I do work for different companies or startups or corporations. I get to share the cool work they're doing. And sometimes it's really like complicated scientific stuff, and you have to figure out how to make it into something that everyday people understand,
Sure.
people who don't speak scientist. Um,
That would
so
be me.
yeah, me too. Me too.
Yes,
The,
totally, totally.
the cool thing about being a reporter is you have full license to like play the dumb card. I ask a lot of whys. Like I should probably know this, but oh, and for our viewers who don't know, explain this to me. So I do a lot of what does this mean? But
Absolutely.
yeah, I think my why is just because I love sharing other people's stories and, here I feel like everybody's got a story and I love hearing them and I love sharing them.
And this is exactly why I wanted to create this kind of platform of a podcast to be able to bring people on to talk about it. Because normally, when you are reporters, you're going out and you're getting the 411, right? You're getting the news and being an advocate for the people. But people don't typically sit down with the reporter and talk about their story because everybody's story is typically unique. So that's why I love doing that. It's a great way to network, but it's also a great way to learn about something that may be new. Like I said, I've never talked to a voiceover person, and I just before you even talked, I didn't know you could have that many different genres and different outlets of talking about voiceovers. I did think about the animation and just like the Morgan Freeman and kind of like
Yeah.
that when it was the voiceover, right? So it's really cool to hear about that. I want to touch upon this because you went to San Jose State University, if I'm not mistaken. You're an alumni there.
Those
Uh,
Spartans. Yep.
Absolutely. So I want to know, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to San Jose State University?
Oh man. Well, I started out, I was down in Southern California and USC was where I was going to go. And I
Hmm.
was really young. I graduated early from high school. I was 17, moved down to LA, and I just was not like mature enough to handle it. So I moved back up to San Jose and a little bit closer to home, and not with the intention of spending like my whole college career there, but it just ended up being a really good fit for me.
Hmm.
I also did a study abroad program that was through the University of Pittsburgh, and they do
Hmm.
some really cool stuff. So, I could have that I just think I love learning. So any place where I could like get in a classroom and listen to interesting people teach me stuff. I probably
Hmm.
didn't have the same respect for it when I was, 18, 19 years old, but I think that's
Sure,
always been kind of
sure.
part of my DNA. So,
Hmm. No, that's pretty cool. I'm a San Diego native.
oh,
So,
all right.
so yeah, that's where I'm from. I graduated high school out there. Kearney High School is where I went to. And then I also went to middle school and elementary out there. So I'm very familiar with San Diego. I'm also very familiar with USC. I used to go watch a lot of those football games when Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush was on the team. Um,
Awesome.
Huge fan of that. But I'm also very familiar with San Jose. If you're familiar with the city called Salinas,
Oh yeah.
um,
Right
yeah.
by
So my
Monterey.
Right. So my father used to work there. I used to have a company called Bosch. They used to work there out of Salinas. So I used to go up there and visit him. So I'm very familiar with San Jose, Salinas, that Oakland, San Francisco area. So definitely a lot of love for my home state of California for sure.
Yeah.
No question.
And I have a lot of love for San Diego. We have a place down there. So, and my daughter lives in San Diego now. So I
Okay.
spend quite a bit of time
Well,
down there too.
all right. Shout out to Kristen's daughter. I love that. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
She'll appreciate that.
Absolutely. Let me ask you some favorite questions. So I have some favorite questions lined up here. You just give me the 411 based upon what some of those favorite responses will be. Okay.
Okay.
Here
Fire
we go.
away.
Let's rock. Let's rock. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh man, I was gonna say ice cream without giving it a second thought, but that's not, I guess, really a meal, huh?
Hmm.
I love cooking Thai food. I know that's weird, but it's like complicated. There are lots of ingredients, smells are amazing, and it's always good at the end of the day. Thai food's amazing.
Fun fact, Kristen, never had Thai food. Never had Thai food in my life. Yeah, never had Thai.
Oh, you have to go. You have to. There's some good Thai food down in. Are you in San Diego still?
No, no. Now I'm based in Minnesota. So I'm based in
Oh,
Minnesota
okay.
now. But the thing is that when you go try something new, I'm to the point I'm where I'm so stubborn in my ways when it comes to food. I know what I like.
You know what
So
you
I
like.
don't
I get
know,
it.
right? Right. I know what I like, but I don't know if I would like Thai food because I've heard Thai food is very spicy.
Not always. You can get it less
Not,
spicy. I'm
really?
not a big
Really?
spicy. Yeah, I don't love really spicy things either. I love
Okay.
Thai food, and I'm the same way you are. I order like the same two things on the menu all the
Okay.
time because I know I like them and I don't want to be disappointed. But try Thai food. I bet you won't be
Okay.
disappointed. It's really
Give,
good.
give me if you can give me about a 3 to 5 thing list of things I should go for. Because I'll go into a restaurant and I wouldn't know what to order. What will be like really good? And we can talk offline. And you could definitely give me that list, and I'll go there. Then I'll try some Thai food, and I'll come back and tell you if I like it or not.
Okay, go. Just one real quick. Go easy. Start with spring rolls, fresh spring rolls. If you've
Fresh
ever had like
spring roll.
deep
Okay.
fried rolls, this is spring rolls. They're fresh in rice
Mhm.
paper, super good. Really, it usually comes with like a peanut sauce if you like peanut butter kind of
Mm,
stuff. So
okay.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
good starter food for Thai if you want to
I
try
got
Thai.
you. I like that. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh man. Okay, you won't guess this one. You won't guess this one.
Mm.
It was in part the music and in part the location, but my husband and I went to Dropkick Murphys in Dublin, Ireland a few years back. And I know nobody would look at me and think I like Dropkick Murphys, but I do. And they were
Oh,
particularly good
okay.
in Ireland. So
That
there
is
you go
that is
for a
a
surprise.
very very good. That's very good music. Now I do have them on the Pandora. That's for sure, no question. Okay, and all the places Ireland. That's what's up. I like that. Okay. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? This is a two-part question. And favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
I love to attend in person football because it's fun in person. It's exciting. Um, I mean, NFL's cool, but like high school football, college football, because there's so much passion.
It's a
Kids are
lot of
like
bad.
so into it. It's just a different vibe. Watch on TV. I have a hard time, and this is another thing that might surprise you because I worked in TV for years. I have a hard time watching TV. I can't sit for that long. It's my
Mm,
like restless leg ADD, I don't know what it is, but I have a hard time sitting for a really long time. But I would say I'm just trying to think the Olympics, what I loved the most. And that's a tough one. I don't watch a lot. I used to be really into baseball. I used to love
sure,
to watch
sure.
baseball, but now I just can't sit that long. So
I totally understand. Now, are you like that with movies as well?
yeah, I can't do
Okay.
movies in a theater unless it's like the last movie I was super excited to see, and I actually went to a theater to see it was Top Gun 2. But aside from that, yeah, unless
I
I'm sick.
mean, I totally understand. I mean, most ladies would love to see Maverick again, so I totally understand that. Top two, and it took a while to come out, and Tom Cruise did a hell of a job with that movie as well because I liked it. I like Top Gun too. Did you like it?
Oh, I've seen it like 8 times now, and I'm not the
Okay,
kind of person to watch a movie over, but yeah, I loved it. It was great. I loved the first one. I think I was in like junior high. I was a kid when the first one came out, so I was
absolutely.
pretty excited to see the
Okay,
second one. Yeah.
I love that. And listen, football's great to attend in person. What fan are you? Because I believe you split time from Sacramento and San Diego, right? If I'm not mistaken, you got places in both spots.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So which are you? Is your allegiance to like the Chargers that maybe that just moved to LA, or are you a 49ers person? Like,
I grew up in
what's your
Northern
football?
California. I grew up in NorCal,
Oh,
so
okay.
got to be the Niners. My
I
dad would
got
be
you.
disappointed if I said anything different.
That's okay. That's all right. That's totally fine. I understand that. Two more for the favorites. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
That's tough because I travel a lot. That's like
Mm,
traveling is my passion and weakness and what I
me
spend all
too.
my
Me
extra
too.
time doing. Yeah, it's so addicting. That's really hard. I have so many favorites. Um, oh my gosh, that's hard. I have had some really unique trips. In college,
Me
I
too.
did a
Give me
study
two of
abroad.
them. Give me two of them.
Okay, 2 locations, 2 places. Oh
Yeah.
man, okay. I love Italy just because everything Italian is like the shoes, the people, the food, it's all amazing.
Oh,
Can't go
okay.
wrong with Italy.
Okay.
Maybe let's see one surprise one. Vietnam. I loved Vietnam. It's
Wow.
beautiful. Didn't expect to love it. Didn't expect the people to be so welcoming and amazing, but yeah, I really loved that. We went to Isle of Man last year. That was pretty cool. I did not expect to love that. It's this little island that most people have never heard of in the
Mhm.
middle of the Irish Sea, and it was just the cool, most like rugged, beautiful, cold, crazy place. It's huge for motorcycle racing. So anybody who likes motorcycle racing probably has heard of Isle of Man. Otherwise, you'd be like, "Where is that?" So yeah, those are
Feel that.
some top
That's what's
choices.
up. I would say definitely for me, Cabo San Lucas,
Oh
Mexico.
yeah.
Definitely a great place. I'm a huge like scenery, water person. I just
That's fun.
love like beautiful views. I even got myself a little tan down there. I know that's hard to see that,
Yeah,
but I definitely got
good for you.
myself a little tan down there and had a great time for sure. I'm going on a cruise in the next couple of weeks, so that might change my
Where are you
favorite
going?
place. So it's a family trip, and it's four different locations. We port out of Miami, and we're going to Cozumel, Mexico, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and the Bahamas. So those are the four different places that we'll be going. So, like I said, Kristen, my favorite place may change, but as of right now, definitely have to go with Mexico for sure.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Next time you go to Cabo San Lucas, try San Jose del Cabo, right up the street. I
Ooh,
just did a YouTube video on it. You have to look it
did
up.
you? Okay.
It's most people don't know about it's like Cabo San Lucas's quieter older brother that nobody knows about. It's a super cool town. Super cool.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna look that up, by the way. No doubt. Now, last of the favorites, favorite restaurant that you like to eat at.
Oh man. Like favorite fancy, like it is my birthday, where do I want to go kind of restaurant or just like an everyday restaurant?
It could be
You
either
tell.
or. Either or doesn't matter.
Man, these are tough questions you're asking me. You're getting to the core here.
Mhm.
It's hard to stump me. Okay, so we have a
I like it.
neighborhood. Yeah, we have a neighborhood place. Oh, you know what else I love? Sushi, Makuni Sushi in Sacramento. There are like
Wow.
6 or 7 of them now, but I would say like if we were to go out to dinner tonight, I'd say let's go to Makuni. Good sushi.
And you would probably be the only one of the two of us that has never had sushi before. I never had sushi. I never had sushi.
What?
Yeah, I
Oh,
never had sushi.
man.
So no of the Thai food and no sushi. I have not had that yet because they told me sushi it could be raw or you can eat it cooked,
Yeah.
and I didn't know which one to try first. So I just never had it.
Come back to California. You can try all the tastes out here. We got everything.
I still have family. I have cousins in the LA area for sure. So they live in Watts, LA. So I still have family out there in California. I still try to come out there at least once every year. Obviously, with journalism schedules and covering sports, that can be pretty hard at times because sports is nights and weekends, and it's all year round, as you know about that being in
Yeah.
television. So and being in journalism. So, but if I am out in California. especially in Northern California. I don't know if you'll be in Northern or Southern at that time. I'm gonna hit you up, and we'll try
Okay.
something. We'll try
I'll
something.
take you out for
Okay,
Thai and sushi.
please, please do. That would be awesome. It'd be amazing. Now I want to talk to you, Kristen, about your everyday. Now, see, we're freelancers. So freelancing sometimes, I know I have another job on the side that's a full time, but I love my freelancing opportunities. They come and they differentiate every single day, every single week. Sometimes I'm covering high school, college. Sometimes I'm covering professional. So I love my freelancing because I get to choose about what I do. And like you mentioned before, you get a little bit more freedom and a little less stress because you don't have to appease to anybody like a news director or somebody of a hierarchy. Talk to me about your day to day and how does it differentiate you being a freelancer of the voiceover and in the broadcast journalism space.
I probably love the same thing you do about it. Just the fact that every day is different. It's hard to say what one day, is that every day is going to be one cookie cutter,
Sure.
style. But although this week has been every day this week, I've had a shoot, in the morning. So started out filming in different places for a project. And then I come back this time of year, there's a lot of political voiceover. I just rushed back to my audio booth from a shoot that I was on to do a political ad really quickly. And that's like, can you have this to me in an hour? So that's kind of what my day is like right now. I'm at the mercy of the political cycle for one more month. But I enjoy that. I love to work. So I take a lot of, whatever the variety is, as long
Mhm.
as it kind of fits within like my core values and what I love to do. Um, I work on, I've been starting to do some UGC stuff, which is a lot of fun. I really love that, working for like brands and companies that have new products out and want to share, want somebody to test out their product and then talk about it. So that's a lot of fun. I shoot stuff like that in the afternoon. I try and squeeze in a workout at some point. That's important. I have a dog who looks at me really sad if she doesn't get to go out and go for a run. So that's a big part of my day. But yeah, work-wise, I would say it's split pretty evenly between doing like video projects, corporate video projects. I do a lot of stuff for UC Davis and UC Davis Health and some cities around here, and some PBS programming, and then my voiceover stuff, which means I might be like logging video or looking at video that I shot yesterday, and I'll get an email and run into my audio booth and crank out a couple of 30-second spots and then go back to, shooting a product video. So it really varies. That's what I
It,
love most about what I
yeah,
do.
that's amazing. That is amazing. Now, this bonus question came up in my mind. How many different voices do you have to do throughout the day, or maybe even throughout the week, depending on the projects? Because sometimes you may have to differentiate your voice for like a dramatic or a funny, or depending on what the drama of the project is, and how hard is it to find that when you're doing these voiceovers?
It was really hard when I first got out of news, because when you're working in news, you have one set voice.
Yep.
It's your news voice. And then I started doing a lot of corporate work, which also you pretty much have one or two. You're like the corporate friendly. Now we're going to turn to chapter 12, or, the corporate serious, where today we're talking about sexual harassment training. So, it started like a slow churn toward different voices. And now working in political, that's probably the biggest variety in terms of what I get to do with my voice. And like I said, that's part of why I like it, because you could be talking about the worst politician ever who's going to destroy our country. And
Right.
then you talk about the hero who's coming in to save everyone and makes all the right decisions, and vote for this person because they're the best thing since sliced bread. And then you
Mhm.
have like scary campaigns that, this is going to do toxic things to your neighborhood. And so there's just a lot of variety in terms of how ad agencies and campaigns, write their political scripts. And I know, I get just as sick of the political schmarm as everyone else. I get tired of the trash talking and the ugliness. But when it comes to doing the work and the ads, it's a lot of fun to, just from like, if you disassociate yourself from the issues and the person, it's fun to be expressive and to like work on that kind of variety. So I would say in one week, I don't know, maybe like 6 different styles of stuff. But I mean, I have friends who work in animation who are like different characters, 5 different
Right.
characters in the same day, which is pretty amazing. Pretty cool stuff.
I love
They're
it.
a lot
Now,
more fun to listen to than me, I have to say.
oh, don't say that. I love hearing your voice. Your voice is very good. So don't you even say nothing like that, Kristen. Okay. So
We
here
all
we
we all
go.
have our place, right? We all
That's
have our
true.
lane, and
That's
so I have
true.
to
And
work
your
for mine.
lane is, it seems like it's being nice with the political lane, as you just said, with the voiceover. So I love that. I love hearing that. Which brings me to a great segue, which is mental health and
Mm.
work-life balance. Obviously, when you work in this industry of broadcast journalism, mental health is very important. It's important in every industry, but definitely this one because you hear a lot of the words of burnout, overworked, and underpaid. Those words you hear quite a bit. And I've had plenty of colleagues that came in and they're doing something else. They're doing either PR, they got burnt out and they're doing something else. And some colleagues have stayed. Talk to me about your mental health and how do you keep that strong? Because you know you're a mother, you're a wife, but you also about your business. You got to be able to work, right? And this is not a conventional job where it's like 9 to 5 every single day. We work crazy type of hours, and you just talked about it politically. We're going through a political year where now we have an election. That's going to be coming up next month. So, talk to me about how do you keep your mental health strong, but also maintain that work-life balance of being, you know, on top of work, but also having a life outside.
That's a good question, and, that's a huge part of why I left news because I think, I got tired of seeing dead bodies and kids getting taken away from their parents and just really difficult things that, um, that are sadly, part of the world that we live in.
Yep.
Um, so I left and started to freelance for my mental health because I really wanted to be, I made a choice to surround myself with projects and people that are positive and that teach me something or inspire, and they give me the opportunity to share that with other people because we do see and hear a lot of negativity, whether it's in politics or whether you're driving out of your neighborhood and you see all the homeless camps and just all the stuff that's really difficult in our world to see. So part of what I do for my mental health is just I make a point to work on projects that are positive,
Mhm.
um, and that are sharing good news or good things. Aside from that, man, I have to work out. When I don't work out, when I don't sweat, it's not even that I'm like in the best shape ever. That is my therapy. I have to go for a run or go to the gym or get on my Peloton or go for a hike or whatever. Um, that's really important. And my family knows when I don't work out that I'm not that pleasant to be around. Um,
I got you.
and I think aside from that, my husband, he's a former fire chief and firefighter and paramedic, so he's dealt with a lot of really difficult, in a really rough neighborhood, and he's
Sure.
he's seen a lot too. So I think he's a good, like, we balance each other well, and we both make it a point to just focus on things that are healthy, like mentally healthy for us and for our family, because it's easy to get sucked into the negativity and to get sucked into work so that you're so busy just cranking out work that you don't stop to think about, like, what's the point of all of this that we're doing.
Sure.
So I think it's important to, like, make a conscious effort to surround yourself with people and with work that makes you feel good. I don't
I
know if that
like,
answered
and
your
that's
question, but
another reason why I wanted to, do this podcast. I told you before to learn the people's stories, but another reason was to make sure people know the A side and the B side of this industry. Right. The A side is what we just talked about, doing what we love to do, story tell, going out, interviewing people. I know when I was working with the publication, I was covering 12 high schools, all different kind of sports. Games were different, writing feature stories, editing photos, loving all that and loving talking to these kids and being able to tell them about why I love doing what I do and why I choose to do it. But the B side is definitely is that sometimes you work hours that's very long. Sometimes you're away from your family. I'm here by myself in Minnesota. My mother and father, they're in separate places. I don't have any family around. Sometimes you miss holidays. Sometimes you miss birthdays. You miss graduations working in this. But it's all because you're trying to chase a dream of yours that you have. But you have to know that B side and be ready and be mentally prepared that those things do happen. You do work crazy hours. You are going to miss those things. And sometimes you're going to do stories that are not soft and cookie cutter. They're going to be very hard news. And you're going to have to take that home with you, or try to, disassociate yourself from it, which is one of the reasons why, Kristen, I picked sports. Now, sports is hard news too at times. It's very tough interviewing kids when they're crying after losses, and
Oh,
how
yeah.
tough it is, right? It's tough. They lost. Their season's over. The team is not going to be the same next year because there's seniors that normally walk off on every team for the most part, and they're in tears, and you got to interview them, right? Because that's a part of your
Yep.
job. It's very tough for me because I played high school sports. I know how tough that is. So I love that answer that you gave, which again is the great segue to advice. If there was someone that came up to you, that may be like a postgraduate, because like myself, because I've been in this industry for about 6, 7 years now, a combination of being in Atlanta and Minnesota, or maybe someone like your daughter or someone your daughter's age, or maybe just a college graduate that came up to you and said, Kristen, I would love to do what you do. I would love to freelance. I would love to be a voiceover. I would love to be in the broadcast journalism space. What kind of advice would you give that individual starting out?
Ooh, I would say to first have a vision, like think about what actually makes you happy, what kind of of work or information or environment makes you happy, and visualize what your life would look like there. Because like I said at the beginning, I didn't jump into where I am today. And I went through several stages of my career and realizing that maybe it's this, nah, maybe not. I think I'm going to switch gears and go this way, and maybe it's that. And so I think we live in such an instant gratification world right now where people want this and they want it right now. And in reality, especially in a career, it morphs and it's like it's a journey and you have to find your way to what that vision is. And that vision probably will change a lot of times in your career. But I always feel like it's important to have your eye on the prize. Like, what is it? How do you want to feel about what you're doing every day? What do you want it to look like? What kind of environment? What kind of schedule? I used to work, I mean, I worked so many Christmases in a row. And, at one point I was like, I'd really love to have Christmases and nights and weekends off. And so, what does that look like? How can I build a career around that? So, I would say to have a vision and to really think about like not don't stumble through life. Think about what makes you feel good and what that could look like. And then be willing to try things and be willing to turn a different direction if that's not exactly the right fit. It doesn't come overnight.
Absolutely. I think that second part is what I try to advocate to at least kids out here that I've covered for the high school sports. When they ask me, well, Chris, what is it like being a journalist? I said, it's beautiful. It's awesome. I love it. I love covering you guys. It's so pure at this level of high school. You're playing with your friends. You really want to win, but you're having fun. You don't lose that fun aspect, right? When you go to college, sometimes, depending on certain schools, now that Neil's involved and other people are involved and boosters and alumni, it can kind of be diluted a little bit and the fun can be taken away, especially when you get to the pros. If you ever get to the pros, that can definitely be like that. So I always tell kids, being a journalist is great. Try everything though. Try
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't limit yourself in college. If this is something you want to do, try radio, try writing, try producing, try directing, try whatever you need to try because you never know what you're going to like unless you try it. And then that's the path that you should go. You should go and do that. So I try to advocate that to all the kids that want to get into journalism. Just try everything. Your first year, couple years, and then once you start getting into the latter years of your college, focus in on what you want to do, and then go from there.
Yeah. Great advice. Yeah. I think people are very, like they think that this is how life is supposed to look like. And if it doesn't look like that, they're so disappointed. And it
Mhm.
never starts out looking like that. Like you have to create that picture. So, try things and be willing to try something else if that doesn't feel like the right fit.
Absolutely. I've had like different guests on here, Kristen, that would talk about how people will come up to them and they think that things are very glamorous because they see them on TV, as an anchor or reporter, you know, giving the news and talking about the news. And it's like, it takes a lot to get behind a camera and do that. Like, that person may be a one-man band, may have to carry all that equipment, set all that equipment up and do that. Or that person is anchoring the show. Somebody has to write that script. Somebody has to write that. Somebody has to do makeup and hair, and maybe you have to do it by yourself. I've had people on this platform say they did makeup in the car. And then they like,
Been
right?
there.
Well, you've been there, right? So
I've been
it's
there.
it's one of those things where, sometimes the illusion is not reality, right? And sometimes you're looking at something where you might think of what it is, but it's not really that. And again, that's why I wanted to have this platform, because you have to know that all those things that we're talking about, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And if you still want to go about this industry, by all means, please do. But understand is, don't think that it's all glamorous, because it's not.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think it's good to remember too that there are a lot of different parts to this industry. It's not
That's
like
true too.
every job as a journalist is the same. They're all a little bit different, and
Absolutely.
that's kind of cool too that you can find your niche and like something that feels like a good fit.
I love that. I love that. Now we've came to the point of the podcast episode now that we are going to do this or that. And that's a little
Mhm.
interactive game that I like to play with all of my guests that I have here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. Basically, I throw a couple things out at you and you get to choose this or that. Are you with me?
Choices. Yes, I'm in.
All right, let's get ready to rock. Now, this first choice is going to be very pivotal because, Kristen, we've been rocking with each other all podcast episode. So, for us to basically remain friends, I got to have you pick the right one on this one. So, here we
Oh
go.
no. Or is
Popeyes
it
or
end discussion?
which chicken place are you going to pick? Popeyes or KFC?
KFC.
Okay, okay.
I'm
That's the
I'm an
right one.
originalist. I've been around a while, so is KFC. So
Okay, I'm with you on that. Listen, I'll be honest with you, I tricked you on that question because you can't go wrong on either one. I love
okay,
Popeyes and
that was a
KFC.
softball.
It was. It was. Okay. Do you like chicken wings?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Chicken wing flavors, barbecue or lemon pepper?
Oh man, I have to say lemon pepper. Although I probably
Okay.
have barbecue more often, you just don't see lemon pepper that often.
Now, part of me thinks that this is my third favorite sauce. Part of me thinks that you're a buffalo sauce kind of person.
Okay, so the real thing is I like it all, except the hot and spicy. That's I don't do extra spicy or anything, but like you
Yeah.
said with the first one, you can't go wrong with this. I would not turn
Right.
away a buffalo spice. No way. I wouldn't turn any of it away.
I love it. I love it. We're off to a great start. Here we go. The next four have to do with concerts you rather attend. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
This first
Uh-oh.
concert's up. All right. Which concert would you rather attend? Would you rather go see Aerosmith or the Eagles?
Oh, the Eagles. I love both, but I am such an Eagles girl. But I like
Okay.
Aerosmith.
Okay. Yep. Hotel California is definitely a great song. One of my favorites. No question
Yeah.
about that. Okay. Here we go. Which concert would you rather attend? Would you rather go see Elton John or Phil Collins?
Oh man. What if they're in concert together?
I mean, that would be a pretty epic damn concert, Kristen.
Oh,
That's for sure.
it
That would be
would.
pretty good.
I love them both. I'd say Elton John, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
But I'd be
I would.
so bummed to miss Phil Collins.
I know we are split on that one. I would definitely say Phil because I love me some Phil Collins, but I do love Elton too. But I love me some Phil Collins. That's what's up. Okay, here we go. Which concert would you rather attend? Would you rather go see Luke Combs or Morgan Wallen?
Oh, why can't you make it a little easier? Like make them not even in the same ballpark.
Because this is the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, Kristen. We can't make things very easy on this podcast. We got to
Man.
make you think a little bit.
All right, Morgan Wallen, I guess, but I like them both.
And you should, as you should, because they're both very talented. Okay, here we go. Which concert would you rather attend? Brandy or Monica? I'm taking you to your R&B stage.
Ooh, Brandy, I think.
You
Only because I
sure?
can't come up with a Monica song right now.
Okay. Remember, it's just one of them days. Don't take it personal. That's Monica. Just one
Just
of
one of
them
them days.
days.
That's a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
right.
good one.
Okay. But you said Brandy.
man, you are not making this easy. Yeah, let's stick with Brandy. That was my original answer. I'm not
Okay,
going to be
okay,
wishy-washy.
okay. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh, huh. Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
No. But I can bowl. I've done it. I think I'm better at bowling than I would be at badminton.
Okay, do you need the bumpers for bowling?
No. Well,
Oh,
depends on who you ask.
okay, okay,
Depends on the
okay.
day.
Listen, well, hopefully the family gets you your own lane and put the bumpers
There you
on,
go.
and then the other family bowls on the other lane. So that's what
There
it
you
is.
go.
Okay, here we go. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch hockey or basketball?
Ooh, basketball. Yeah.
Okay,
Hockey's
which
cool too, but it's so violent.
it is violent, but growing up in the Bay Area, you had the San Jose
Oh,
Sharks up
I
there,
went to a
so
lot of Sharks games.
I can imagine. I can
Yep.
imagine. Okay, do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna throw four desserts out at you, and one of these you have to pick. You'll never eat again.
Okay. Ooh,
Okay, so the first one is ice cream.
my favorite food
The,
of all time.
the second one is cookies. So that's any type of cookie. Okay.
Okay.
The third one is cake. That's any type of cake. The last one is candy. Which one are you getting rid of that you will never eat again?
I could get rid of candy. Yeah.
Okay.
Or cookies. I'm an ice cream, like I could eat ice cream every day for the rest of my life and be
Now,
happy.
what's your favorite ice cream?
I like mint chip, but I like a lot of ice cream. But that's when I go to the grocery store, when it's my decision, I get mint chip.
I'm a cookies and cream guy and the chocolate chip cookie dough. That's me.
Yeah.
So,
Cookies and cream is up there too. Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Got you. Okay. And plus, by the way, I would get red of candy too because red velvet cake is my favorite cake. So I can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
I can't get
That's
rid of it.
probably my favorite cake too. I love me some red velvet and
Girl,
carrot cake.
look at us vibing on here. I like that. Okay. So here we go. Same format. Do you like potato chips?
Yeah, I'm more of a sweets person. But yeah, I'll eat them.
Okay. So here's the same format. I'm going to throw
Okay.
four brands. You got to get rid of one of these. You'll never eat again. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. First brand is Ruffles. The second brand is Doritos. The third brand is Lay's. The fourth brand is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Lay's.
Kristen, we're going to be besties. It's already settled.
You too?
It's, I'm with you on Lay's. The only reason why, and I will tell you this, is because to me, the Ruffles is the best chip for any kind of dip. I'm a buffalo chicken dip kind of guy. So I love me some buffalo chicken dip, and sour cream and cheddar is the best chip ever in my mind. There's no better chip than that. Now, Doritos is hard to get rid of nacho cheese or Cool Ranch. I love me some Doritos.
Yeah, I
And
love Doritos.
and Pringles, they're just the easiest the most easiest to get to. You can stack them. You really can't stack the other ones. You got to dip into the bag, but you can stack
I
the
like the
Pringles.
stacking argument.
Yeah,
That's funny.
you can stack the Pringles, right? So, but the Lay's, they also have probably the second worst chip ever made, Kristen, and that is salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar is the
Really?
second worst chip ever made.
Yeah, whoever came up with that and put it on a chip, that's
Uh,
definitely a good question.
yeah,
Curious.
it's not good. No, no bueno, no good. I don't like that. But that's just me. That's good choices. I like that. You did pretty good on this or that.
I
But
passed. Thank you.
you passed. You definitely did. Now, this next question, I love asking all of my guests on here too, because you do voiceover and you've done broadcast journalism. However, if you didn't decide to go into that career path and you chose another career path, what would that career path be and why?
I'd be a florist because I like
Wow.
flowers. Didn't
Hmm.
expect that one, huh?
I did not. No. Mm-mm. I did not. Wow. Flowers. What's your favorite
I like.
flower?
Ooh, I love any kind of daisy, Gerber daisy, like
Okay.
regular. Yeah, that's a tough one because it depends really on like the mood and the room and the, you know, all of the things, but I'm like daisies have been my original from when I was little favorite flower.
That is absolutely awesome. I love hearing that. That's great. A florist. That definitely caught me by
Random, huh?
surprise, but I love that.
Random.
I really do. Give me a top four list of things that you would like to be a voiceover for. If there was something like a project that you want to do, what is a top four list that you would like to do? Like for me, for example, since I'm a sports journalist, I would love to cover the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, a national championship game that could be football or basketball, and surprisingly, I would love to do the Olympics, which is obviously coming here in 28 in my hometown state of California. It's gonna be in Los Angeles.
Woo! That's right. That's
Right.
exciting. Okay, you
Absolutely.
gotta give me a little more time to come up with 4. I would say, though, for 4, I would love to be a voice for REI because I love REI. I love their brand, what they're about. I love their products. I'm a customer. HGTV. I did some work for HGTV years ago when I was younger. Didn't appreciate because at that time I didn't own a home and didn't really care. And now
Sure.
I do. I think that would be fun. National Geographic TV
I
would be a
can
lot of
totally
fun.
see that. I can see
Yeah,
that.
that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, that kind of thing. What else? Do I have to come up with one more? That's 3. Those would be my top, I think. It would be.
Well, let me ask you this as a bonus. Is there an event that would get you to come out of I wouldn't want to say that you're like, retired or anything, but as far as get you to come out and cover an event as a journalist, maybe like a red carpet event or maybe like a special event that would get you to cover it like as a reporter or a host.
Ooh, I used to do red carpet stuff. That was a lot of fun. Um, I'd say, gosh, as a reporter or a host, I man, you ask tough questions.
Well, that
Um,
means they're pretty good. I like that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
they are. The way you frame that, though, it seems like it should be like a really positive, happy, fun thing, like a red carpet event. But I
Sure.
loved covering, like when I was in news, I loved covering like fires
Okay.
because they're dynamic and it changes fast and um impacts a lot of people, so the information's important. Sometimes working in news I felt like is the information we're sharing really important to anyone? But with weather and with fires I felt like it was. Everybody needs to know if there's a flood, if there's a hurricane coming, people need to know the information. So I love covering that kind of thing. Although doing
Sure.
red carpet stuff, I mean, I had a lot of fun interviewing celebrities back in my morning show days.
The reason why I asked that because I could totally see you doing something like that. I mean, you're very fun, very friendly, bubbly personality. Who wouldn't want to stop at a red carpet and talk to you for a couple of
Uh,
minutes? That's why I
I've
wanted
had
to
some
ask
good
that question.
interviews. I've
Yeah,
had
that's
some
what
good
I'm saying.
interviews on the red carpet.
Absolutely. Now, does any of your children want to follow in your footsteps or maybe your husband's footsteps or maybe being a firefighter or a reporter?
No, my oldest daughter wants to be a teacher, which I totally admire because that's a tough job. My younger daughter, I don't think she really knows yet, but I think she'd go for like being a YouTuber before being a reporter. That's
An
that's
influencer,
the
no
reporter
question.
of today for kids, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm actually getting my master's because I'm also thinking about teaching myself. I'm getting my master's in professional writing as we speak. I graduate next May, and I do
Congrats.
substitute teaching now. So that's what I do on the
That's
side as
awesome.
well. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
That's
Two
important.
more questions, Kristen. I'm gonna get you out of here on that. This next question is advice. Well, we talked about advice you would give, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah, that's one you know, that I've been told because it's really easy to get wrapped up in the little things that like feel so monumental when you
Yeah,
have, a bad day or a bad like you're in a bad place in life or whatever. It's really easy to go downhill fast by overthinking all the bad stuff. So I tell myself that a lot. Like, does this really matter at the end of the day? Like, is this worth being all caught up in myself about? Probably not.
sure. Sure. No, I like that. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's a very easy saying, but it's something that we definitely have to repeat to ourselves because we all have our days, right? We all have those days. And we really got to repeat that a lot because especially being in this industry, I know myself, either just, working long hours or an assignment that you're not too happy about that you wanted to do. Now that I'm a freelancer, it's a little different. But, when you were in that position of being working for a company or a publication, you had to be one of the soldiers and go along and try to do the assignment that you were assigned. And sometimes it be an assignment that's just a rough assignment that you like, why the hell am I doing this? Like in the back of your mind, you would think that, right? So,
Totally.
but all in all, don't sweat the small stuff is something that I love that. It's very simple. And you can say it to yourself over and over again to get yourself through the day for sure.
Yeah. I think
This
the
has
other
been
one, if there's one more, I think the other one would just be that we're all responsible for our own happiness. I tell my daughters that a lot.
ooh,
Like, if you're not happy with where you are the only one who has the power to change that. So
absolutely.
I think that helps when you're really like not happy.
Absolutely. And you know what? Quick story. Um, this that actually hit home when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, because I actually transplanted from Atlanta, Georgia to here.
I love
That's
Atlanta.
what yeah, I love Atlanta too. I love it. My mom and uncle and aunt are still down there. I still try to visit them as well. But I was in Atlanta, Georgia, working IT for the lottery, and I had a coworker who was complaining about his job. And my thing was that really hit home what you just said. If you're not happy about what you're doing, the only person that can change their circumstances is you. You just have to go about it the right way and think about it. And he just kept complaining over and over and over again. And I was like, what are you really unhappy about? But he couldn't answer that question, right? He couldn't
Yeah.
answer the question of what he was unhappy about. And that put that thought in my mindset of, I don't ever want to be like that at a job or anything in life. I want to stay happy and be happy. And so I love that advice that you gave. This has been a really, really dope conversation. I've gotten to know a lot about you, your background, what you do, Thai food, sushi, definitely something that we can definitely talk about in the future, and also just learn about the different things of how you go about it in the industry and how you dealt with things throughout the industry. So my last question to you, as I always do here on my Work Hard, Play Hard podcast is there anything else, Kristen, that you would like to add about you, yourself, or anything that you do?
No, I think we covered a lot. I would just say about this industry that it is a journey. And the way I started out, out of college is completely different from what I do now. So, and that didn't happen overnight. So enjoy the journey. There's a lot good times and the bad times, but it kind of leads you to where you are and helps you to realize on the way what makes you happy.
Absolutely. And you are still thriving doing your thing. And I really do appreciate your time here this Thursday afternoon to come on and talk to me on my podcast. We will definitely stay in touch. You enjoy the rest of your Thursday and your weekend. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Good talking to you.
Good
Bye.
talking to you too, Kristen. Take care.
You too.